welcome back from Top the Wall. My name is Mason Up, and we are here with another Pauper deck. It is Rock, Pauper, Scissors, Golgari Madness. The Golgari Madness deck that we are playing today is not dead set on playing entirely around the mechanic of Madness, but instead is just trying to get some value for it, and we are mostly invested in just trying to stomp our opponents out, really. Just outclass them with things like the Garmag Anglers, use our spells for just really good pointed removal, and get some extra value out of things as we go, some extra card advantage. And starting right up the chain with our discard outlets, we have the 4 Green Seekers. The Green Seekers are just 1 mana 1/1s, but we can use them to get a basic land card and discard a card, essentially replacing the Madness card in our hand with the basic land to help ensure that we make our land drops, and to thin our deck, helping us find more of our Madness cards and more of our creature cards that we want to beat our opponent's face in. Moving up the chain, Deepwood Drummer. It's a card that allows us to pump some of our creatures, help protect them sometimes from lightning bolts and other kinds of removal. Then we have our Wild Mongrels, 2 mana 2/2. The reason why we only have 2 of them in the deck versus a lot of the other Madness decks is because when you play them on 2, you're not actually able to use them as a discard outlet immediately because you're out of mana, and pretty much every single card that would have Madness on it requires a mana cost to cast it for its Madness cost. We got Elsewhere Trooper as a 3-drop 2/2, but it has discard a creature card, gets +2/+2 and trample until end of turn. It can only be used once per turn, can still be used at instant speed, and I like it because it gives us multiple choices and multiple uses for each of our Madness cards. We can choose what kind of value that we want out of them at any time. We have Ranked Officer, which is our last discard outlet, and it is 3 and a black, 3/1, a new card from Modern Horizons. You discard any card and create a 2/2 black zombie when it enters the battlefield. Pay 1 and a black, tap it, exile a creature card from your graveyard. Each opponent loses 2 life. So that means that we're actually able to discard some cards like, let's say, our Gorgon Recluse here, and we can get a 2/2 zombie and a 2/4 with Pseudo Death Touch, and then we can choose to exile some of our creature cards that may have died earlier in the game and start pinging your opponent for that 2 damage on a stalled board state. Our threats, we have Garmag Anglers, just 2 Garmag Anglers. Our graveyard doesn't get that stuffed, and we're not focused on stuffing the graveyard, so it's likely that we don't always get to cast it for the 1 black mana, but still good. We have the 4 Arrogant Worms, we have the 4 Gorgon Recluses, which is 2/4 Pseudo Death Touch, and this is a 4/4 Trampler. I should mention 4/4 Trampler. Important card. First Sphere, Gargantua. I've played with this card before. For 2 and a black, you get a 5/4 with haste, sacrifice it at the beginning of the end step when you unearth it, and when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and lose a life. A lot of times swinging in for the 5/4 forces them to jump block or use a removal spell. Either way, forcing them to use a card and adding another card to your hand is a 2-for-1, and I like having this support card to just give us a good clean 2-for-1 or swing in as a finisher for the last bits of damage. And our last creature card in the deck is Gluttonous Slug. This is also a new one for Modern Horizons. I like this Gluttonous Slug. 2 mana for a 0/3 with Menace and Evolve. Good blocker, has evolved, gets bigger as the game goes on, gets evolved by pretty much every single one of our creatures, by actually all of our creatures. So we can go creature, 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 and it becomes a 3/6 relatively easily, and that is a creature that is also evasive but also a good blocker and can continue growing and being a massive threat in the game and is hard to get rid of, especially against the black decks because it has high toughness. Now, for our spells of the deck, we have Psychotic Episode for discard, but also allows you to look at the top card of your opponent's deck. So that way you can go, well, is any card in their hand as good as the top card of their deck? I'm going to put it to the bottom, and you can use it at instant speed if you're discarding it with one of our discard outlets, so you can discard this on their draw step. So before they even get the chance to play the card in their hand, you can look at it and look at the top card, choose whichever one is worse for you, put it onto the bottom, get a ton of information, really strong. For our pointed removal, we got Murderous Compulsion to destroy tapped creatures for the same mana cost as it would be to normally cast it, but you can do it at instant speed if you have the discard outlet. We got Dark Withering, Just can be, it's a 6 mana Doomblade, but if you madness it, it's a 1 black mana Doomblade. We have Alms of the Vein. It is a lava spike to our opponent's face that also gives us 3 life. So it's a healing salve and a lava spike in the same card for 1 black mana when we madness it. For our mana base, we have the 8 forest. We have the 6 swamps. I gotta choose better forests than swamps. We got the 4 jungle hollow to help us fix our mana and gain a little life. We got Pajuka Bog to exile a graveyard. Barrenmoor to cycle when we're a little bit flooded. Golgari Rot Farm to pick up Pajuka Bog or Barrenmoor so we can cycle them, or we can just reuse the ETB effect, or gain another life from Jungle Hollow, even though it's a little bit slow, a little clunky. And the reason why we have 8 forest over the 6 swamp is because of the 4 green seekers. Now the things that we're afraid of the most moving onto the sideboard would be probably Boggles and Mono White Heroics right now. They're actually really powerful decks that don't really like to care about what you're doing. They don't really care about what you're doing or how you're doing it. They just really want to get in and beat your face. So we have the 3 Chainer's Edicts, and we have the 2 natural claims, so that way we can get rid of the Chalmain's Blessing or get rid of the Ancestral Mask or whatever enchantments that we don't like. We also can use this to get rid of Arkham's Astrolabe and prevent them from continuing to recycle its ETB and draw more cards and get rid of that draw engine and make it a little bit harder for them to continue with the nonsense. Plus, it is instant speed, so we can do it in response to them targeting it, trying to return it to the hand, and make it fizzle, or we can do it while the core Skyfisher is on the stack. For opposing graveyards, we always got to have it. 2 Neil Spell Bombs, especially when we care about our graveyard. This is better than Relic the vast majority of the time. We have Psychotic Haze to fight all the elves and all the tokens, especially the squirrels. God, this guy is just loving destroying all the squirrels. The Pulse of Marasa, we get to return a creature or land card from our graveyard to our hand, which is easy enough for us to do in a deck that cares about discarding cards. We gain the 6 life. It's great against burn, and it's good in longer, grindier matchups. We have Raven's Crime to help our opponents discard all those nasty counter spells. They don't want them in their hand. This is what this card is for, to help your opponent get rid of all of their removal that they're holding up. Maybe force them to choose between discarding a threat and a removal spell. We got the Grave Scrabbler, also for grinding matchups. It's a fun card to just like get a quick 2-for-1 for 2 mana. You get a 2/2 for 2, and you get to return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. It's pretty sweet to have this thing in our sideboard. Love seeing it. And that is the deck. If you have any suggestions on what I should play next, or you would like to see a different version of this deck, or you'd like me to build some kind of deck that's interesting in the format right now, let me know. And if you would like to modify this deck, I have a ton of extra cards in the side maybe pile on pretty much all of my decks on tabtap.net. The link is below. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and all that stuff. I'm also on Twitter and whatever. And while I am on Twitter. You can hear it now. Thanks for watching, and come in for the face touch.